Everyone, and welcome to a quick overview of the just announced update for video and changelog alike. Before we get into this video, and I'm gonna go a little bit over the features that have been presented, I'm gonna roll the full video for you so you have an overview of what we are looking at beforehand.
Heyo everyone, we'll be bringing you update 4 on the 22nd of April. We wanted to show you some of the highlights today. In this video, we'll be taking you through restaurants, pool color customization, and workshop and franchise enhancements. We'll also take a look at the D-theme coasters for this update, the returning flat ride Scissor coming back from the original Planet Coaster. So let's tuck in and discover our upcoming features. We are so excited to bring restaurants to the game. If you want to add a restaurant to your park, you'll be able to place down a blueprint. We have one for each Planet Coaster 2 theme, but you can also create your own restaurant inspired by anything you like. To build a restaurant, you only need to place a counter from where your guests will pick up their food and add some tables and chairs. Once your restaurant is open and your guests come in, you'll be able to see them collecting their food from the counter and walk with the tray to the table. The food picked up by your guests will be based on their food tolerances. We are looking forward to seeing your dining masterpieces. We're also giving you more creativity with your pools. You'll be able to change the colour of your pool water, the pool tiles, and scenery water shapes. In order to make the new colour of your pool water more or less visible, its colour strength will be adjustable. We have refreshed the workshop by adding some new elements to it. You'll be able to find featured creators directly via the in-game workshop. You'll also be able to follow your favourite ones. Once you have done so, you'll be able to keep track of their new creations as they share them directly from the My Workshop page. The most popular creations will also have their dedicated page, which will list the top most downloaded items. This could be a good starting page if you're looking for thrilling items to use in your park or for inspiration. We have also updated franchise mode and made your franchise more customizable. Along with your avatar, you'll also be able to set a banner image, pick a colour for it, and set a sticker from a predefined list. You'll also be able to visit top-rated parks from previous franchise leaderboards. If you're keen to discover what made them so popular, pop into them and enjoy the tour. We'll also be bringing you more standard D-theme versions of coasters for you to customise. The Valet and Nidwalden Inverted Flying and the Pearl Rides Manic Mouse. The Manta Ray and Mouse pieces from these rides can now also be used separately as standard scenery pieces. Your guests will spin amongst dazzling lights on the Scissor Flat Ride. Returning from the original Planet Coaster, we have rebuilt this attraction from the ground up for Planet Coaster 2 for you to customise and for your visitors to enjoy. We've added more enhancements on top of everything we have just shown you, such as more information on rides available in the Blueprints tooltips, the possibility for coaster supports to be on paths, and more maps from career to sandbox mode. We've also adjusted various elements, such as ensuring guests don't get stuck when walking around your parks, balancing fixed prices, and providing more guidance on your set prices. We hope you enjoyed this look at some of what's to come in Update 4, releasing on Tuesday the 22nd of April. What we have shown today will be released along with a variety of fixes and optimizations. Learn more about these in the full changelog by visiting planetcoaster.com or clicking the link in the video description.
Alright, welcome on in. You've seen now the full overview video once with the wonderful voice of Rich, who explained a couple of things, and I want to show you a couple of things I also noticed and why I think this update is pretty damn solid. And also we're going to talk about the full changelog after this one, so that's going to be very interesting for the people who are looking in a lot of bug fixes and so on. I won't go too crazy in detail, but just like a couple of highlights we're going to look at. While my voice is cracking, just gonna take a sip of water. We're real here, you know, no cuts or whatever. Let's just do it very authentical, and we are going to go in. Now, I love this park, by the way. This all is presented in. The first thing you can already tell is the changed color of the pool. Now having a very purple looking pool. For whatever sake you want to have a purple looking pool, you can now do so. Also, it's kind of funny to see how it actually reflects in the water VFX over here, seemingly. And then apparently we have a look at the restaurant, a little bit of a better view on the restaurant. I gotta say, I love the fact how they improved the restaurants. Having people actually going to the tables and bringing their little trays over here and just making sure they do eat from it, and having different food on them as well, you know, according to what they have ordered, which is down to their personal preferences, is pretty damn cool. Here you can see also how they change the pool color and the color strands over here, which is very cool. And then you can also see a couple of other things like the themed coaster, the new scissor. Then we have another look at the restaurants, but they also go a bit more into detail. I like this lovely little detail here of the two knives, and then we have a knife. And then we do have a bit of chopped veggies over here and an apple. Seeing people enjoying their meals in here is very cool. Also, I know it's just a small detail, but having the chance that people do also eat in their bathing suits is pretty cool and realistic too. I wish that we have control over allowing this or not, you know. It's not like that I don't want to have my people sitting in the bath suits there, but it's relatively normal that in resorts or in theme parks you have areas dedicated specifically for people to enjoy this also in their bathing suits, but then you also have restaurants and other areas where it's not allowed, and basically people should be wearing normal clothing. Would love to have this little detail. Again, I love the differences in meals. I'm really excited that they went so much into detail here, which leaves me even more frustrated that we don't have the staff rooms accordingly styled like we had in Planet Zoo. I love them to fix this as well in the future, because I feel like it's a very cool thing. Yeah, how they built these, they've already shown. You have this counter in the middle, and you can link then some tables to it. As far as I understood, you can also have multiple counters, or at least kind of create a multiple counter restaurant. You could go and make one kitchen which only has like 2 meals of a barbecue, let's say, and the other one is like a salad bar, and then you can connect them to both seats, as far as I understood, or maybe you need to have dedicated seats. I don't know, but you can mix it up a little bit, which I find also very cool. Again, I love the fact that this time around they are not beamed to the tables, but they're in fact actually walking there with their stuff, which is super cool. Then we have the pool customization, something they haven't had ready in the last showcase last month when they had the Frontier Unlocked. Now you can see pool tiles can be changed, which is so freaking good, because that was actually something I didn't understand from the beginning. And you can change the color strands of the watercolor as well. We'll give you some wonderful options to create your very turquoise kind of water for whatever Caribbean you're going for, or very dirty-ish water for some more sea stuff. Then we have a couple of workshop refreshments, a way better way of browsing it, which I love. They said they are not sure if they bring it to this update or not, but seemingly they have done it, which is so cool. And you can see there is now an option to browse for most subscribed, features creations, featured creators, my subscriptions, workshop profile, and upload creation. So it's a bit better organized. You will be able to easily find the creators like me, but I'm not a featured creator. I don't upload enough. I definitely have to bring all my stuff to the workshop at some point, which I will do. But Sylv apparently has done it, because he is in the trending creations list, very far up the list here with his 2 Poltergeist and the Accelerator. Very much deserved, by the way. And then we also have a third one from Sylv here too, which is kind of funny, the rum book. But yeah, it's basically the explore trending Sylv creations area. I'm just kidding, but it's kind of cool that you have it, and you can also customize your own franchise. I haven't ever played franchise in here, so I don't even know, but you can also visit other people's parks that are high up in the ranking of the franchise, which again is something really cool, because then you can also see how they achieved certain things. Really like that for the people who enjoy this mode. I really do like. Then we've got the themed coasters. Again, we have the B&M flying coaster, and we've got the Wild Mouse ride over here. Very much liking both editions, so we can style them according what we want them to look like, which is always appreciated. And well, again, I would love to see more than 2 each update, but hell, it's just 4 weeks in between 2 updates, so I don't want to be too greedy here. Love the fact that we do get these 2, and apparently in the next months we will get another 2 and another 2 and another 2. So end of year we will have some cool stuff. These things over here seemingly are more usable than I thought they will be. Very nice. Also, apparently it looks like they have maybe improved something about the textures. I don't know. It looks at least as if the textures are a little bit sharper than I remembered them to be, and also depth of field is a bit more nicely done, at least in this shot. Then we also do have the scissor back. They again have built this up from the ground, as they say, so that they do have all the customizable options, customizability options that Planet Coaster 2 comes with. So attaching scenery pieces and making all the color gradients and so on work on it. Very nice indeed. I love it. Quality of life updates, I love the fact that they have brought in a bit more details to the menu. It brings the whole thing more and more back to what I'm used to, and maybe a lot of people are used to from the original Planet Coaster. So I like this change a lot. It feels a lot more intuitive like this way, so you can actually understand which exact coaster that is, what type of things you have, what typical excitement rates you have, and so on. I guess this is the way better way of doing it, other than having these pop-up windows we had at the beginning, and then they toned it down to a simple information. But also I felt like the simple information is maybe a little too less, or a little too little, I guess. Then we also have coaster supports on Path, which I like. I would have loved it even more if they become a barrier, but you can do it still yourself if you like doing it. I mean, this one over here is kind of crazy though, but yeah, you can then pick it yourself. We are getting a couple of new maps for sandbox mode from the scenarios, which is again very nice. And they have also fixed, as they said, I'm gonna double check that, that people don't get stuck anymore on the pathing. And one thing I love that wasn't on the list before, but I really do like it, they have basically got in with a bit of a ticket preset of ticket prices, which I do feel like very nice. You've got custom, as always, dynamic, premium, and bargain, which helps you to set the prices accordingly without figuring out an exact number. I'm a big fan of this update. I'm a big fan of the overall update. I'm a big fan of the fact how they improve this game and keep improving it. Very, very lovely indeed. And I think it's time to just jump into the overall changelog, because there are a couple of interesting things in there as well. So let's hop over. All right, so here we are with the full changelog. Most of these things we've already talked about. There's not really that much to talk about. More interestingly, we go into the updates, because all of the other stuff we've just talked about. We have some new coaster support on Path. Western theme editions are very surprising in my opinion. They have added more of the old Western set. People have been complaining that a couple of things were lacking, and obviously they were right, because there were a couple of things, specifically the animatronics, that were lacking, and so they brought back the Western theme animatronics, naming the Angry Shot, Cover Shot, Cowboy, Cover Shot, and Cowboy Quick Draw. We also get some scenery pieces, the Dynamite Crate, Closed and Open, TNT Plunker, the Gunslinger Weather Vane, and the Western Statue Revolver. Also we get some SFX, sound effects, Dynamic Explode, Pistol, Shotgun, Gunshot, oh my god, Reload, and Bullet Ricochet. I have no idea how to pronounce that, which is pretty good. And then we do have a lot of things that people will like to see. Again, a lot of bug fixes. It's not like 10 pages as the first one was, but it's still 5 pages, which is crazy. One of the more important ones is this one over here. Adjusted alignment of side supports connectors on double inner tube flume pieces. I know that a lot of people were complaining about that. Then we also have this one. I also saw a lot of people moaning about this. So alignment between cart and chain lift motor track piece on the B&M Flawless coaster, including the Minder blueprint. So that's fixed as well, which I do think is pretty cool. And then we also have a couple of things with the clipping between pistons. So they do kind of change a lot of things over here. They have adjusted the chain lift and track piece on the Star Looper coaster. I've seen that one too, and I do find it's very good that they're fixing this, because that just kept me from building it. So I love the Star Looper, or the Star Loop as a coaster. I would have loved to build like a little bit of a Düsseldorf Kirmes, right? But like there's this Olympic loop I would have loved to do. Anyways, then also we have the catwalks. Drop coaster now have color customizations. Thank God, finally they can. I was also kind of confused why they can't do this. Then we also have the track piece alignment on the tipper coaster. Thank God, because I noticed that a lot in my Hanseatic Dreamland. That was something that annoyed me a lot, I gotta say. This is very nice to see. This all color of the coaster tracks can now be changed when using a controller. This was something I wasn't aware of even, that this is a problem, but thank God it's fixed now. We also have a wonderful fix over here that comes in very handy for me. Guests will no longer incorrectly enter struck by an object state when exiting the flume. I had this countless times on my pools. And also this one, guests that climb out of a pools onto path not connected to a park exit will no longer become stuck, which is great because they will then just jump back into the pool and go out of the side where they can. This was specifically on my ship that I built the cruise ship a horror, because apparently I had a couple of sides of the ship that you couldn't connect with the rest of the ship simply because the slides were in the way, and so you would have gone through the pool back, but they never did. So crazy. So what also we have, the mythology bench themed. I also noticed this once when I was using the bench that they were kind of glitching on them. Now this seems to be resolved as well. This one over here I haven't even seen. Resolved issue causing the western scene piece wooden pillar to turn white when viewed from a distance. I should have seen that, but I didn't. But good to see that it's fixed. Also find that they can prioritize that better. This is apparently good for people who play not sandbox mode, but actually do something else. Staff will no longer look for rooms when the break. Oh my god, this is, by the way, this is so freaking good, because I had this notice always because I didn't have enough rooms, and I was like, hey, we are sandbox, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so this is good. We also have a couple of other things over here, as you can see. So again, a very, very solid list. All right, what can I say as a little verdict of this video? So apparently this is already the 4th update we are seeing in the 4th month, and this is, what was that pronunciation of month, by the way? And this is going places. I am fairly happy. I had the very quick feeling when they talked about this again, and yet seeing the trailer again, is this enough maybe for an update? Because, you know, the last one felt very heavy because of the western pieces and so on. But I must say, we are having a monthly rhythm right now. It's only 4 weeks in between both updates, and knowing that the next one will receive the sci-fi theme again, it's good, it's great, and we are seeing very good improvements, very good bug fixes, very significant bug fixes. I personally think we are on track. I think this is the perfect way to go, and I can't wait for the next Frontier Unlock, which should already be next week or the week after, I don't know. I think it's next week even. Or maybe the week after, I don't know. To see what is up for Update 5. I can't wait for that one, because we just knew a couple of things, and also a first preview of Update 6. Can't wait for that. Now let me know in the comments down below what you think about this update. Is there anything significant you are mostly happy about, and what is mostly not in there what you're waiting for? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you, as always, in the next one.